So today, Reiko and I are interviewing a special guest. This is Kiwako Negoro, and she is a kacho. So she is a manager in that. Eigo wa nai desu ne.
ないです。
It says Kaijo Koen Keikaku. So I guess the Seaside Park Planning Department. She's the head of the department.
Or the Marine Park.
Ah, Marine Park. Okay, Marine Park Planning Department. So we're going to talk about Kasai Kaihin Koen. All right. So first, what is Kasai Kaihin Koen? Kasai Koen, 何でしょうか?
葛西海浜公園は、そうですね、400ヘクタールを超える、海上公園、都立の海上公園でどなたにもお使いいただける公園です。
Okay, so first he said this is a 400 hectare, I guess, marine park that is established by Tokyo City or Tokyo Prefecture, and anyone can use it. Okay. いつからですか? From when was it established?
出来上がったのは、平成元年なので、1900.
She explained that it was established in the first year of the Heisei era, which is 1989, in connection with, you said, the Kasai Kaihin Koen and the local communities together. So before, this was completely submerged. It was ocean. But they decided to make it into a tidal flat. So this was the first man-made tidal flat in the world. So next question, why?
そうですね、ちょうどその作り始めた計画したっていうのが、1960年代ぐらいをイメージしていただけるといいんですけど、その前
So basically we have to go back to the Showa era, just after the World War. After the World War, Japan was in a redevelopment phase, I guess a reindustrialization phase. So lots of things were being built and industrializing was pursuing. So I guess a lot of landfills were happening.
ものすごくこう埋めを増やすようで、産業も盛んになって工業化も進めてっていった時代がありました。でもう一つが今言ったように低湿地帯で台風が次々
Japan was attacked by many typhoons. So every time there was a typhoon, because this is a low-level area, it was flooded with water, and it says hundreds of people died. So to prevent the typhoon damage, levee systems were built for kilometers around this area.
時代が昭和30年代にあったんです。で
This is an important point. So because of the levee essentially became a wall, it physically and psychologically separated people from the sea. And she explained that before then, nori cultivation, for example, if you look out in the sea, midori no ho kana? Those like the poles with the green ribbons were for nori, seaweed cultivation. And also, what's this, clam digging?
Yes, yes.
Right, so this area is very close to people's everyday lives. Yeah, and also in that area, because of the industrialization was moving so quickly, and many factories were being built, there were many kind of like, I guess, industrial problems. For example, you may have heard of the Minamata, a lot of damage caused by industrialization at that point.
そうすると防潮堤という壁ができてて、物理的にも心理的にもそもそも遠くなっていたので。
So he said, because, as we explained before, because physically and psychologically people were separated from the sea, after the fishing stopped, that kind of separation increased even more. So people had no connection to the sea. So at that point, the factories started to basically start, I couldn't say dumping, but placing industrial waste on the other side of the levee, of the wall. And not only that, people started basically, throwing trash. So because of that, the ocean became increasingly polluted.
でその時登場したのが美濃さんという都知事でした。
At that point, a superhero, Mr. Minobe, who was the prefectural governor, appears.
はい。で美濃さんは非常に市民寄りの
So Governor Minabe did an observation of the Tokyo Bay by ship, and he saw lots of this, I guess, basically trash and ooze bubbling up from the Tokyo Bay. In fact, they had a kind of a bad nickname. It was called the Golden Bay because it was so polluted.
っていう 中で目指したのが、よし海を都民に取り返そうということをキャッチコピーに掲げました。
So he made a slogan, I'm going to retake the sea and return it to the people.
それが1970年です。
Okay, so this was in 1970 when he made this declaration.
そこで、港湾を港の仕
So
事
at that
を
point,
教え
they
る女性の
included people from a lot of fields, for example, from education and I guess public development, and they created what's called what's it called, the Marine Park Development Plan or structure was developed.
計画です。そうです。それで、いろんな場所に海上公園っていうのを整備していこうと。
So they took the areas which had been separated, from the people by the levees and decided to develop them into the marine parks. For example, you may know of Odaiba, which is a famous tourist spot, and many other spots were also developed as marine parks. So obviously this is one of them by the
我
park
々造
development team.
園のチームがですね、
Okay.
こう再生してきたエリアなんです。これが昔の海岸線。
So this was the original coastline.
で、ここを
You see
埋め
this
立
outer line, the
て
thin
て
line
再開発
is where the
してこういう
reclaimed
町
land
にしたん
took
です。こ
place.
の辺りは地元の組合
This
施
is
工
the
でやって
community
団
that
地とか
developed. The
流通
wastewater
団地と
storage
か
facilities,
下水処
for
理場
example,
を
were
作っ
developed
て
here.
ここは東
Okay,
京
in
都施
connection
工
with the
で
local
公園
community
ができ
associations. So, これから何を目指している? From now, what do you want to do?
そうですね。この豊かな自然がちゃんと次世代に継承していけるようにきちんと手も入れて。
So she says she wants to pass it along safely to the next generation, but not just public authorities, but wants the residents and the community to be involved.
やっぱり一緒に守っていく仲間を増やすっていうことが大事だと考えています。
So basically, he said, so why should people come? He said, because Japan is a sea country. And I guess spiritually and in many ways, connection between the people and the sea is very strong. So she wants people to see that. So here, if you come here, you can see the connection. And for example, in the past, he said, you can, nori cultivation. You can see nori cultivation took place here, as well as other types of fishing. And they sometimes have special events where they recreate those. So you can see what life was like here in the past. So because we have this well-developed and well-protected natural environment, many birds come here, right? So you can sort of see, I guess, the biodiversity of the region. And another important point is, for a capital of a major city to have a Ramsar site is very unusual. But Tokyo has it, which shows that, for example, in Tokyo in Japan, people don't see the environment as an enemy, but they try to coexist with the environment. So she wants you to come here and feel that. It's one of the attractiveness of, I guess, the Japanese culture and approach to environment.